All right. We'll get ready to get rocking and rolling here in a minute, and then we can talk. I'll talk about the race and my feelings and all that, but we'll have plenty of time to dissect everything and figure it out forwards and backwards and all that. All right. Before I get too far going, I do still have 2 spots available if anybody would like the Gio Ruggiero and Greg Biffle spot, or Jeff Burton and Harrison Burton spot. Both of those are still available. Those are $9 apiece. I have opted to not do the duck race to try to keep things moving along, because I figured that was just another step, another thing we were going to have to do, and so I just decided to skip it. So, if anybody would like either one of those spots, let me know. Riley said, I'll take them. You want both spots, Riley? Biffle and Gio? Do you want the Burtons too? I'll put you down for that one. My pen will work. I got you down for that one. I'm also still missing payments from just the Biffle Geo spot. Sorry. Okay. And then John Boyles said he'd take the Burtons. So I'm going to give the Burtons to John Boyles. So thanks to you guys for that. Appreciate you guys making it easy on me. So Riley took the Geo and Biff spot, and then the Burtons are going to go to John Boyles. But anyway, I was saying, still missing a payment from Zach Brenner for the SVG Ben Rhodes spot, and still missing Braxton for the Denny and Reddick spot. So missing those 2. But otherwise, we're all set. And Riley and John, you guys can do yours after the break later tonight. You don't have to do it right now. You can do it later. I'm not going to know you sent it now anyway, so. Definitely appreciate you 2 doing that, though. So, let's see here. Get some gloves, and we'll be ready to rock and roll here. I'm going to wait to put the gloves on until after I get through our Bad Monkey box. So, all right. So first things first, this is last week's race win custom. William Byron. So that'll go to Curtis. I thought this one turned out really, really nice with that picture. Just the way the car's angled in front of the Martinsville. I just thought that was really sweet. So that's for last week's race. So that'll go to Curtis. Obviously, I'll be doing a Ryan Blaney. I'm also, for any Larson fans, I am going to make a Kyle Larson Championship custom this week. If you would like one, let me know before Wednesday so that I can print enough of them for everybody. If you would like a Larson custom, they'll be $5 if you want one. But it'll be a whole thing with, champion on it and all that. It'll be, very similar to this style. It's going to be this style of card, but it'll be a champion one. So, so anyway, let's get started, and then we can dive into the race, the championship, and everything that goes along with that. So I had so many cards in the Bad Monkey box that they didn't fit this way to close it, so I had to put them in like that. That's why the box isn't closed. Because if I stand them like this, you can see they're much taller than the box. So this is the Bad Monkey box. And actually had Denny right on top. So we got a blue Velocity Optic Denny going to Braxton. Red Chris Buescher for Dale. Pedal to the Metal Haley Deegan will go to Will Blackman. We got the Silver Explosion Zane Smith. Blue Kyle Weatherman to 199. I think I'm just gonna call out the hits because there's a lot of cards here. Thad Moffitt Suited Up. That'll go to Pat Gallagher. That's the cracked ice version. Yeah, I'm sure they did an interview with Blaney, but they didn't do it on air. You know what I mean? I'm sure they went and interviewed him, but we didn't see it because obviously the hoopla is with the championship. But yeah, same thing with Ross a couple years. It's just, it is what it is. If you win that race, that there's not going to be as much going on. And but big win for Blaney, I'm sure, Orange Velocity Chase Briscoe. We got a Daniel Dye silver or hollow optic autograph. That's going to go to Robert Rich. The red Brennan Poole Velocity. Yeah, I was going to say, I think if you switched to Peacock and continued watching, you could see it all. I'm sure they interviewed Blaney. Pedal to the Metal Nick Sanchez. Going to Mike. We got a tricolor Danica Patrick from Select. Green Optic Ricky Stenhouse Jr. to 99. Pedal to the Metal Justin Allgaier number to 49. Tricolor Martin Truex Jr. Yeah, I literally said to my wife with about 15 to go or 20 to go, I said, Denny's two things are he needs the car to stay together and he needs the race to stay green. And I said, and you watch, there'll be some kind of caution with inside 10 to go. And sure enough, McDowell Green Optic out of 99. We got Jeb Burton Selective Swatches. Going to Justin Elder. Signature Series Joey Gaze will go to Storm Ghost. Selective Swatches Ernie Irvan. Ernie Irvan, I think, is unlisted and will go to Storm Ghost as well. I don't think he's on the list anywhere. So I'm pretty sure he goes to Storm Ghost. Tricolor Joey Logano. Purple Optic Matty D, numbered to 59 for Matty D. Lawless Allen Suited Up goes to Michael Pierce. That's numbered to 99. Harrison Burton Red out of 299. Matt Mills Burning Rubber Race Used Tire. That'll go to Dale Cobb. We got a Pandora Optic Brad Keselowski autograph. That's super nice. That's going to go to Dan Owens. That's a short print out of 25. 12 of 25 on the Pandora Optic BK. Tricolor Michael McDowell. Going Chandler Smith. Red Optic. Goes to Troy. Eric Jones, Pedal to the Metal. We'll go to Justin Elder, 2-color sheet metal. We got the Orange Optic Austin Dillon. Josh Berry, Red. Suited Up Taylor Gray. Goes to Dan Owens. Red Optic Velocity BK. Got the Silver Explosion Daniel Dye. Red Optic Noah Gragson. Saw he introduced himself to Sydney Sweeney before the race. Purple Select Auto Mike Skinner. I know Mike is listed. That's going to go to Anthony Hawley. Purple Mike Skinner out of 49. And we got Tanner Gray Blue to 199. And a Souvenir Swatches Jeff Gordon will go to Robert Rich. So that's the Bad Monkey box. That gets that out of the way for us. All right. So, I will get some gloves. And we'll get rolling with this now. I should have done like a live while the race was going on. It probably would have been fun to talk through some of it there the last 20 or 30 laps with everybody, but I didn't really think about it. But, I mean, talk about a race of attrition, you know? We're going to start with Donruss. We're going to start with Donruss, do Donruss Select, then turn 4. But, I mean, just a complete race of attrition for everybody except Byron, really, until the end. And then Byron finally had his issue. And I even said to my wife when we were watching, I said, you know, Byron's the only one that hasn't had a problem. And I said, all the other guys, you know, have had flat tires. And Denny had the clutch thing. And Larson was a lap down. You know, like... So, I think it just, you know, it boils down to executing to the very last moment, you know. Same thing with the World Series last night. You know, the Blue Jays were, 2 outs away? And, you know... It just goes to show you gotta compete till it's over. I think if I was, I mean, obviously heartbroken for Denny, right? Like, I think a lot of people can really feel for Denny. The first thing I want to say, my first reaction about the whole race, and especially with Denny, is I'm really disappointed with the announcers, with Lee Diffie and Jeff Burton and all those guys, about how many times they kept talking about Denny's dad being terminally ill and sick, and how Denny's said that this is his last chance to win a championship in front of his dad, and all of these things. Like, they know his dad was watching the race. How many times do they need to say on live TV or remind his dad while watching on live TV that he's dying? Like, I just felt like that was really, really kind of shitty, in my opinion. I know that's the story, but in reality, you say it once, or let Denny say it once, and then just let that lie, or just say, hey, he's trying to get this done for his dad, but you don't have to keep beating the dead horse that, his dad's ill and dying and all these things. Like, I just felt like that was really, really crappy, in my opinion. Like, I don't know why there was a need to just keep going to that. Red and blue Stenhouse. So, Spellbound Jr. But I was really disappointed with that as a whole. Red and blue Brandon Jones. We got the hollow Matty D. Coming Attraction Sam Mayer. And like I told, my wife's a Denny fan, and she's, the last 20 laps of the race, come on. And even in the restart, she's sitting there yelling, come on, Denny, come on. She wanted him to do it too. And 255 of 299 red, Jimmy Johnson goes to Storm Ghost. Like I told her, if I could say something to Denny, it would be that us as fans, in my opinion, winning a championship or not doesn't define anything about the career. It doesn't mean anything at this point. 60 wins speaks for itself, Hollow Optic Connor Zilich, rated rookie. So as far as Denny's concerned, I know that stings real bad, but it doesn't change anything for Denny, in my opinion. He's going to go down as one of the greatest of all time. Red and blue Richard Petty. So, Unleashed Ryan Blaney. I mean, everybody loves Mark Martin, who had 40 wins, and Denny's got 35, 33% more than Mark Martin had. So, Denny's in good company. So, pedal to the metal, Greg Biffle, 87 of 99. Going to go to Riley. Unleashed Petty. And so to touch on the race, what do you guys think was if you guys were Denny or Chris Gale at that last caution, what would you guys have done as far as pitting? What do you think the move was? I have my opinion on what I would have done. I'm curious to hear what others would say. 78 of 299 red, Jeff Gordon going to Robert. Season highlights, 72 of 99 with the explosion, William Byron. That's pretty. Byron will go to Curtis. But say you're Chris Gale and Denny, and there's 3 laps left, and you're trying to make a decision on what to do on pit road or whatever. What decision do you make? I'm curious what everybody... John says 2 tires. Red and blue, Taylor Gray. Hollow Optic, Carson Hosefar. Chris says stay out. Spellbound Petty. Here's our rookies. Braxton says 2. Red and blue, Kyle. Jerry Sellers says stay out as well. I got to open some more 130s here, so give me just a quick second. 4 made no sense. Yeah, Will says 10 or more laps to go, 4 tires. Only 3 laps, 2 tires, or stay out. Yeah, again, I was telling my wife the same thing. 1 of 49, Brittany Zamora, burning rubber. Zamora going to Todd Colvin. Yeah. Yeah, exactly, Curtis. Curtis hit it on the head. They had the first stall, so they had the advantage of being able to know what other teams were doing. They had the option to wait until, because Larson and Briscoe pitted so far back, they were going to know what they did before they even pulled into their pit stall. And then they still took 4, even knowing that those guys took 2. And I think ultimately, for me, if I was in that situation, I was telling my wife, he can't pit. I said, it doesn't matter what anybody else does. Denny can't pit. There's no reason to pit there, in my opinion. You know, he had the fastest car. He had stretched out a massive lead. Just stay out. You only had to make it 2 laps. 4 tires behind you wasn't going to be enough with how fast Denny was, in my opinion. So, yeah. I mean, if you're going to pit, you got to be committed to doing whatever everybody else is doing, right? And then, I just felt like Chris Gale and sometimes I know Denny's involved in that. I felt like they really missed the mark on the decision making with pitting, and ultimately I think that's what cost them. You know, red and blue, Daniel Dye, and Denny said there's nothing more he could do. Unleashed, William Sawalich. Red and blue, Austin Hill. Got an optic hollow, William Sawalich. Yeah, track position. Exactly, Will. That's the key. Track position is the key. Yeah, it's just one of those deals, you know, where you have to look at what you're driving. You know, you got to look at Denny and say, I need you to give me 2 laps here. You know, I need you to give me the 2 best laps of the day here. 64 out of 199, blue, Austin Hill. Going to Sarah. And I'm utterly surprised that they even pitted at all, let alone that they took 4 tires. 4 tires was not the move. And if he had won, everybody would have been saying that it was genius, right? Like, that's the thing. Easy for us to say. Because if he had pulled it off, then everybody would have been saying, well, Chris Gale's a genius, you know? So, but Denny had been so good. I don't know. 167 to 199, Lane Riggs. I felt like, to me, it really felt like that was the call of the race for Cliff Daniels. Lane Riggs goes to Joey Kroger. Connor Mozak, pedal to the metal. Did we get 3 relics in this box? We have. We've had 3 relics. Yeah. You had to know that you were gonna, you're going into the restart with the lead. You have to know that you want to be coming out of that, whatever's happening with the pits. You want to know you're coming out in the front row, controlling your own destiny. We got a gold Taylor Gray, gold, 7 out of 10. A little more yellow than gold, but we'll take it. Going to Dan Owens, 7 out of 10. Nice, Dan. Hollow Optic, Jeff Gordon. Spellbound, Connor Zilich, S. It just goes to show how good that 5 team is, because it seemed like they had no shot most of the day. Like, I even said to my wife at the beginning of the race, I said, Larson's just slow today. Like, he doesn't have the speed. Like, some days you got it, some days you don't. And he just didn't have it. But, man, they just wouldn't go away. Red and blue Kowicki. And a green Velocity Optic Sheldon Creed. Going to Troy. 47 out of 99. I know there'll be a lot of people with some really strong... I already saw posts, and I made the mistake of engaging with one of them, and I should have just not said anything, because I know there's a lot of strong feelings, and people are going to take any kind of pushback against their feelings as, you don't like them or what they like or whatever. But that's just the way NASCAR is. We're all very strong-willed about our drivers and our favorites. There we go. We had to wait till the second to last card to get the auto. Austin Beers, Hollow Optic rated rookie. Austin Beers is going to go to Dan Owens. Dan's having quite a nice break. Dan's got the Austin Beers auto. He's got the gold Taylor Gray. And he's got the Pandora BK auto already. Life is good for Dan so far tonight. And let's talk about, if you guys were watching or paying attention, some of you might have thrown the remote across the room at that point. I don't know. But if you were still watching when Larson was doing his burnout, did you guys see that Larson was doing a burnout while he was while he was sitting on the door of the car? Had the car doing a burnout, sitting on the door, waving his flag. Like, if that's not some really cool, just moments, I don't know what is. I think I'll be curious to see what the final points standings. You know, there's an account on Twitter that does the traditional Winston Cup points, and I'm sure they've probably already updated it by now, but I'd be curious to see who the winner would be after this race under the old format. I think the way it looked, I think it would have been Christopher Bell, but I'd be curious to see now how that worked out. But it does certainly sound like we're getting a change for next year. I just don't know to what degree. I don't know if anybody knows yet. But for everybody that hates the format, which I'm not the biggest fan of it, I'll admit. I think that there's relief coming for those that hate it. I can see why there's moments where it's good or exciting. But I don't think those moments outweigh the negatives. So I'm of the camp of I would like to see the playoffs be 3-3-3. 3, stick with the same format, but just do 3 rounds of 3 races. And crown your champion that way. If you want to be in the playoff pool, and swim in that world. But I'll be curious to see what they do. They might go all the way back. Who knows? I doubt it, but who knows? 68/99, Brent Cruz. Purple rated rookie. Going to Steve. I will say I do like that the new president of NASCAR. Is it Steve O'Donnell is his name? I do like him. 25/49, Unleashed, Connor Zilisch. That's nice. Going to Jake. Red and blue, Gregson. Pedal to the metal, Denny. Sheet metal. Denny goes to Braxton. Yeah, the explosions are super sharp. They really are. Zilisch season highlights. Red and blue, Kyle Petty. I wanted to do this. I don't know if I ever explained myself, but I wanted to do this break as all 2025 because today was the championship. It just felt like, to do an all this year type of product break seemed like it made sense. So that's why I did what I did for today's mixer. Spellbound, 23/199. Young Money, 2-time champion, Kyle Larson. Going to Lewis. Parker Retzlaff, 59/199, blue. We'll go to Joey. For those that participated in the playoff contest, we obviously have our winners. Those that had Kyle Larson are the winners. Pretty self-explanatory. Spellbound, Jeff Gordon, letter N. So tonight, after this break, when this break's done, I'll cut the feed off. I'll kind of clean up a little bit for 5-10 minutes, and then I'll start another video. And that will be to break the 5 select boxes for our winners of the playoff contest. So I'm going to have 5 more boxes of select to open tonight for those personal boxes. Hollow Optic Kevin Harvick, And the personal boxes go to Will Blackman, Michael John Pierce, Troy Meckus, Chris Dunnigan, and Christian Hanneman. Those are our guys. Unleashed Dale Jr. Those are our winners. Red and blue, Ryan Blaney. And Spellbound Junior, letter N. All right. One more half a box to go. And then for anybody that's in our fantasy racing, we will wait till tomorrow for everything to become official. And the winners, our top 3 in fantasy racing, I will bust your boxes tomorrow night or tomorrow, whenever the site goes updated and official. It'll probably be tomorrow night though, because I've got a dentist appointment tomorrow, and so my guess it'll be tomorrow night. And the fantasy racing, if you were in fantasy racing, the top 3 prizes were a box of National Treasures, second place gets a box of Prime, and third place got a box of Certified. So those will be open tomorrow night. Red and blue, Ben Rhodes. Jeff Burton, red and blue. Optic Hollow DW. Connor Zilich, letter L. Dale Jr., 223 of 299. Red goes to Thomas Jones Jr. Coming attractions, Connor Zilich. Red and blue, Christian Eckes. Corey Heim, your truck champion. Going to Will Blackman, 98 out of 199. Champions for this year, Corey Heim, Jesse Love, and Kyle Larson. Christian Eckes goes to Jimmy. Larson, letter R. Chase Elliott. Chase looked good today, too. 274 of 299. Going to Tim Mays. Apparently, we're going to save the auto in this box till the end, too. That's the way it's looking. Hollow Optic David Starr. Then we get our run of rookies. Red and blue, Connor Daly and Lane Riggs. Another filler. Race winner, Ryan Blaney. Oh, that's nice. 94 and 97. Black border SVG. Goes to Zach. That's sharp. And then we got a green Velocity Optic Jamie McMurray going to John Boyles. 73 out of 99. Unleashed Logano. SVG. And our autograph, Kaz Gralla, Signature Series. Kaz Gralla will go to Larry. Nice hit, Larry. Then we got the Petty Spellbound letter E and red and blue Austin Beers to finish things off for Donnie. All right. Now let's get into Select. Empty, empty. Zane Smith, Bobby Labonte, Jesse Love, Xfinity Champion, going to Will Blackman, purple, 148 of 199. And then we're going to go legendary signatures, 26 of 49, purple, Jamie McMurray. Going to John Boyles. Nicely done, John. Nice J-Mac auto. J-Mac attack. Ellis Allen. Purple, Mark Martin. It's going to go to Steve. Steve Teskey. 29 of 85. Briscoe and SVG. Silver, Tyler Ankrum. Austin Beers, Jeff Gordon numbers. Race winner, Ryan Blaney. On the silver. Bubba and Gordon. I don't know if Blaney and Larson are super close, but I do think they're friendly with each other. I bet you there'll be some beers drank tonight between those two camps, though. Blue William Byron. Going to Curtis, 34 of 175. I bet there will be some parties going on tonight between those two camps. Or maybe one giant party for all we know. Ooh, love these. NASCAR Parallel, Bill Elliott. Going to Tim Mays. Red, Nick Sanchez. Going to go to Mike. $62 out of 125. Connor Mozak, silver. And auto, 25 of 49, purple signatures, Parker Retzlaff. That'll go to Joey Kroger. Nice one, Joey. Let's change it up. We'll put Parker on the stand in place of Austin Beers. Just to change it up a bit. Oh, nice. We like this. Emerald Green, Kyle Petty. That's going to go to Will Blackman. 3 out of 5. Yeah, that doesn't suck. No, it does not. We might have 2 cards back to back that need mags too. Matter of fact, we'll deal with the Petty first. So Petty goes to Will. And very nice. 3 of 5. Congrats, Will. And yeah, 5 of 10. Haley Deegan, 5 of 10. Also for Will with the gold selective swatches. So Will Blackman with back-to-back SSPs in that pack. We got a couple guys that have done super, super well. With Dan and Will. Have a day, guys. Have a day. Gold Deegan sheet metal. Well, that doesn't suck. Imagine buying a random pack and that's the pack you got. That would be crazy. Then we got a white Connor Zilic, also nice. Going to Jake. $47 out of 99 on the Zilic. Bowman and Kowicki. Tricolor, Tyler Reddick. I'm not sure I ever heard his name today. Reddick, or SVG for that matter. I'm not even sure I heard their names mentioned today. I guess during the lineup I heard it, but otherwise. We got another gold. No, maybe that's a tie-dye. I spoke too soon. Tricolor, Tony Breidinger. Yeah, it's a tricolor. And then tie-dye. Chase Elliott and Kyle Larson, tandem draft tie-dye. So Chase Elliott is Tim Mays, Kyle Larson is Lewis. And that is 19 out of 25. Had a chance to be a door for either one, but it is not. So we will do a random at the end for that between Chase and Kyle, unless you guys tell me otherwise. Empty, empty. And for everybody watching, don't forget tomorrow night, football break tomorrow night for Monday Night Football. Tomorrow night's break is a little bit of a mixer. It's a one box of black, 2025 black. And then I have a Gold Rush made a box with packs. So there's 10 random packs in this box from Gold Rush. So we'll have those 10 packs plus the black box as kind of a mixer tomorrow night. Greg Biffle, 5 of 25. The Biff going to Riley. Little nice karma there for Riley taking that spot. Nice one there. Indeed, indeed. Bush and Chandler Smith. There'll be, I don't know, Sarah. I don't know exactly what my plan is this week, other than, I guess the answer is yes. I think I'm going to do mail sale on Saturday. I do have a couple of, I did grab a couple of mega boxes at the store today. Our local Meijer has a limit of 2, so I bought 2. Which I'm glad they have that in place. There shouldn't be, you know, I don't want to be the one, and I don't want anybody else clearing shelves either, so I'm glad that they have that in place. But I do have 2 mega boxes from Select that I'll probably throw into some kind of mixer. And Fuego, Frankie Muniz Gold, 7 out of 10. Frankie going to Sea Salt. But yeah, probably so. Probably some mixers or mixer, you know, I don't know how many. Probably some more turn 4. And we'll just kind of play it by ear. I'll try to get a game plan together, you know, like by tomorrow night so that I can post a new schedule tomorrow after the football break. So, Gold Frankie going to Sea Salt. And then we got Dale Jr. on the track side. But yeah, I do believe I'm looking at mail sale on Saturday. And I might be looking at, I have to look at my schedule. I might be doing a repack break on Thursday. Purple Tyler Reddick, 52 of 199. Reddick. Where do I have him? Is he in the... Do I have him in the unlisted spot? I might. I didn't think I did, but I might. He might be an unlisted guy. So anyways, everybody will just have to sort of stay tuned, but might be looking at repack break Thursday. and mail sale Saturday. Red, Austin Dillon going to Michael Clay. 32/125. Busher and Petty. I want to get the mail sale in kind of early this month because Black Friday I'm also going to do a sale. But it'll be a thread. It won't be a live sale on Black Friday. It'll be a thread sale. So you'll just be able to scroll through and claim cards, as you scroll. Silver, Daniel Dye, just like you're used to in any other like buy sell group. So that'll be on Black Friday. And I'll try to start early. I don't know, probably not super early, but I'll try to start fairly early on Black Friday. Blue Ty Gibbs going to Pat. $57/175. And then Legendary Signatures, $46/99. Blue DW. Going to Troy with the Darryl Waltrip spot. Kyle Petty. We'll have a lot of stuff coming up over the next couple weeks. I know that race season ended today, but we'll be gearing up for some more stuff this month, as we start looking ahead for planning for Secret Santa. We're supposed to have the 2025 Prism product coming out the day before Thanksgiving. Ben Rhodes, white, $96/99. Going to Zach Brenner. We will do the as long as they need, as long as the school has a need, we will participate in the Adopt a Family again. I'll do that again. For anybody that wants to do that. We've got a lot of people that each year over year have been active in that. Tricolor Michael McDowell. Connor Zilich. We got a red Chase Elliott. Going to Tim Mays. 101/125. And then we're going to go 19/99. Trackside Action Signatures, Jack Wood. Jack Wood will go to Storm Ghost in that unlisted spot. Ross. I also have a PSA submission that is in the final QA checks. I think that's submission 23. So if you guys are familiar with which submission you're in, I messaged everybody a couple days ago to let folks know where we were at, but should have another PSA return coming back. If not this week, probably the following week, I would think. So they'll be back soon. And we got a couple other submissions behind those that are moving right along too. They're in grading and research and ID, so they're moving right along. Silver Tyler Reddick. And if you're interested in PSA stuff or don't know or haven't heard me talk about it, the next submission is not due till November 29th. So you got time if you hit something in a break and you want to grade it, or if you have something at home and you want to send it in for grading, you can do that too. And it does not have to be NASCAR. It can be any sport. It can even be Pokemon. Yamon. Lime green, Joey Logano. Going to Storm Ghost, 53 of 75. And then, Sparks, Christopher Bell. This one's got a bit of a smudge across this side. It would probably take a little work to get that cleaned up, if I'm being 100% honest. C. Bell will go to Steve Teskey. And then our last select card, Denny. All right, I can ditch the gloves because all we have left is turn 4. And then we got a random for Chase and Kyle Larson to take care of. And as I mentioned, I will be back live. We'll end this video and then probably give me about 10 minutes to just kind of get things resituated and cleaned up. And I'll be back live to start on the playoff contest winners boxes. And we will do those tonight as well. All right. First box of turn 4. We've got Kevin Harvick, 19 out of 75. Harvick will go to Will Blackman. Next up, Jeffrey Earnhardt, 47 of 49 sheet metal swatches. Jeffrey Earnhardt will go to Sea Salt. I just realized I got this. That's why it's moving on me so much. I got that underneath there. I'm like, why is it slipping around so much? All right. Center Stage Signatures. I already see the Monster Energy. That is 8 out of 40. Haley Deegan. Another nice Deegan hit for Will Blackman. Got the gold and the auto. Congrats, Will. Very nice. And then Center Stage Signatures. Bailey Curry. 3 out of 75. That will go to Todd Colvin. Todd Colvin with the Bailey Curry auto. All right. Last box for the mixer tonight. Definitely appreciate everybody that participated. Justin Allgaier. That mag's got a nice scuff on it, unfortunately. 15 of 25. Justin Allgaier goes to Justin Elder. Justin for Justin. Then we got 28 of 99 sheet metal swatches. Jesse Love going to Will Blackman with the champ. The champ is here. Last two. Center Stage Signatures. I see DeWalt, Matt Kenseth, 32 of 49. That's going to go to Steve Teskey with the Matt Kenseth spot. Nice one there. And last card for the break. And then, again, we'll do a recap, and then I got to do that random for the Chase and Larson. This one's going to be vertical. This is probably a nice card. That's nice. 5 of 5. Patch auto, Clint Boyer. Boy, that's nice. Oh, that's nice. Clint Boyer going to Dan. That's bitchin'. Congrats, Dan. I'm going to move... we're going to move the Deegan and put Boyer up there. Yeah, that's bitching right there. Love that one. All right. So, let me hit you guys with a recap. Again, thank you to everybody that participated. And if you are wanting to watch the other 5 boxes of Select, give me about 10 to maybe 15 minutes max, and I'll be starting another video, and we'll run through those. So, again, tomorrow night, Monday Night Football break, and then I'll have a break on Tuesday, which probably will be a mixer that will include Select Mega boxes. I don't know what else. Probably some Turn 4, Select Mega. We'll see what else we can throw at it, but tentatively, that's what we got. And then probably repack break Thursday, mail sale Saturday. Kind of looking ahead. So we had 5 out of 25 on the Biffle tie-dye. Relics. We have Jesse Love to 99, Jeffrey Earnhardt 49, C. Bell, Christian Eckes, Denny Hamlin, Connor Mozak, Brittany Zamora, Greg Biffle out of 99, Jeff Gordon, Taylor Gray, Eric Jones, Matt Mills, Lawless Allen. The Bad Monkey box really helped us out because that really helped spread things around to some people that didn't have hits otherwise. Ernie Irvin, Jeb Burton, Pedal to the Metal, Justin Allgaier, Nick Sanchez, Cracked Ice Sheet Metal, Suited Up Thad Moffitt, and Pedal to the Metal Haley Deegan Sheet Metal. And then our autos, Matt Kenseth out of 49, Bailey Curry to 75, Haley Deegan out of 40, Jack Wood blue, Darrell Waltrip blue, Parker Retzlaff purple, Austin Beers Optic Hollow, purple Jamie McMurray, Signature Series Kaz Grala, Mike Skinner purple select, Pandora Brad Keselowski out of 25, Signature Series Joey Gaze, and Optic Hollow Daniel Dye auto. The base cards from Turn 4 were Justin Allgaier and Kevin Harvick. The other miscellaneous golds that we had were Selective Swatches Haley Deegan out of 10, Frankie Muniz and Fuego Gold out of 10, and Taylor Gray out of 10. Then we had the green Kyle Petty numbered to 5. And the patch auto Clint Boyer out of 5. And then we've got the tie-dye tandem draft Chase Elliott and Kyle Larson that we need to settle up as far as a random is concerned. So let me grab the tablet and knock that out real quick. Shouldn't take too long. Takes longer to fire up the tablet than anything, if we're being real here. I'm just waiting to confirm form submission. See, we still had the random from Monday night loaded in there. All right, so I'll put Chase Elliott first, then Kyle Larson. And just like normal, it'll be 5 times. And the winner will be on the top. All right, here we go. Good luck to everybody. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So that's going to go to the Chase Elliott spot and Tim Mays. Tim Mays and the Chase Elliott spot. Get the dual tandem draft. So again, like I said, give me probably 10 minutes or so to get kind of resituated, and then I'll be back live and we'll do our playoff contest winner boxes for Will Blackman, Michael John Pierce, Troy Meckus, Chris Dunnigan, and Christian Hammond. So again, appreciate everybody. Have a great rest of your night.